Hi folks, how you doing? It's James, JT at the Movies, back here again for another video. Today's video is a DVD and Blu-ray update. I've not shot one of these since I think August. I'm very sorry about that. I've been obviously spending my time shooting videos, taking you through the collection, and a few other videos that you'll have seen along the way as well. But obviously over the summer and autumn, I have picked up quite a few things, and this is going to be the first video of two that'll come out over November, showing you what I've picked up basically from the last DVD and Blu-ray update onwards. Quite a big one, so let's just jump straight in. So we'll dive into the DVDs first, then I have a few Blu-rays to show you and two 4Ks this time. The first one that I picked up is Red Sonja, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Have actually got this, but my copy's a little bit scratched. I saw this one in CEX and thought, do you know what? I'll see what nick the disc's in, and it was in better nick. So I thought for a couple of quid, we'll pick it up. So that's Red Sonja. The next one, my good friend and collaborator Phil Graham gave me. He actually had this one upgraded to Blu-ray, I think, for his birthday. I think his gran bought him it on Blu-ray, so he no longer needed the DVD, and it was one that I didn't have, but I've been curious to see. So it's The Count of Monte Cristo, and this is the 2002 version of the film with Jim Caviezel, Guy Pearce and Richard Harris. I've yet to sit down and watch this, but looking forward to doing so. Cheers, Phil. Colleague of mine at work and my boss, actually, both of them, we were sort of at the end of a meeting and having a natter, and they both recommended that I should check this film out. Liam Neeson's in it, Alan Rickman, so two of my favourite actors of all time there. I had to check this out. It's Michael Collins, so yet to sit down and actually watch this one, but it will be one of the first ones that goes on in the new movie room, I can assure you of that. So again, before the lockdown, myself and Phil and our two partners had a movie night, and me and Phil in particular, having a bit of a natter about when we were, when we were kids, and liking the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies from the 90s. And Phil had said, "Oh, do you have them? We should watch them just for a laugh again." And I was like, "Actually, no, I don't. I had them on videotape years ago, but I've never had the DVDs." Couple of days later, I was in Poundland on my lunch break, just killing a bit of time in town, and saw that they had the double pack for £1. So that's both the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies, the 1990 movie, and then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze. So yeah, absolutely brilliant to get a hold of that. The next one completes my Harrison Ford filmography. I say completes it. I did already have this film, but I got it second hand again, and the disc wasn't in tip-top shape. So I decided that I'd pick it up again when I saw it in a charity shop. Checked the disc, and it was absolutely spot-on condition. I thought, well, I'll replace the old one that I've got, and that's Working Girl. The next one is one that my sister gave me. She's just moved out. If you've seen my my big update and thank you for 100 subs video, you'll know that she's just moved out, and that we're going to be turning what was her bedroom into a home cinema / movie collection room in the coming months. I can't wait to do that and document that for you. But she was going through her films and sort of, what was she taking with us? What was she, it was going to be donated or CEX'd or whatever. We came across the next one, and I remembered really enjoying it, and asked her if she was bothered for keeping it. She said not, so I've kept a hold of it. It is California, starring David Duchovny and Brad Pitt, as well as Juliette Lewis as well. Fantastic film, really, really great little thriller from the, I think, early 90s, maybe late 80s. But a great thriller, very early in both those gents' careers, and Juliette Lewis as well. The next one that I picked up, I got when I was in Asda about 4 weeks ago. And as they do in all supermarkets, they'll have like the aisle end with some on sale movies or whatever. And this was on there for, I think, £3. And it's Iron Sky, the director's cut, and Iron Sky, the coming of age. So I thought, well, for both movies, I quite liked Iron Sky. I've not seen it for a good few years, but I'll see what the second one's like. The next one I've picked up, I picked this up purely because the plot sounds hilarious, And it's got Kelsey Grammer in it again, another one of my favourite actors. Put out by 101 Films, though it's not really a special edition or anything like that. And it is Money Plane. So I picked this next one up because I'm a fan of the first film. I thought the second film was a bit of a misfire, to be fair, but I saw online reviews saying that the third one had picked up again. I love my my sort of shark, sort of horror, thrillery movies, and it's Deep Blue Sea 3. I really think they missed a trick with that, not calling it Deep Blue 3 or Deep Blue Sea, with the E and C being replaced by the number 3, you know, like they did with the Phant 4 Stick or Scream 4, where they put the, you know. I'll move on, shall I? Michael Douglas and Annette Bening in this next one. I really find American politics, especially in film, to be quite interesting. This was a film that I'd not heard of before. I think it's a bit of a romantic drama / comedy about Michael Douglas playing the American president. You're going to think I'm daft for this next one, but when I set the movie room up, I'm going to reorganise the collection again, and I know what you're thinking, especially if you've been around on this channel for a while. James, you just did that in lockdown. Are you mental? Well, the answer is yes. I am completely and utterly insane, and I've decided that I want to group together my thrillers, action, and sci-fi and drama sections, and then alphabetise them. So I'll keep horror and I'll keep comedy separate, and the other sections that you'll have seen in the series that we've just done on this channel. But those 4 genres: action, thriller, drama, sci-fi, I'm going to alphabetise them. And I've got these box set things like where they've got like 3 random titles in that are linked by a director or an actor or whatever. And I thought, well, actually, I'd really like to have the individual titles so that I can retire the box sets and get them weighed in or whatever. But I wasn't going to basically go and spend a load of money on them. So when me and Phil went out the other week and did a CEX trip down to Wakey and into Leeds, had a look in their 50p DVD section and managed to find basically all 3 of the titles that I wanted to retire this particular box set, and I'll show you a couple of them now. So the first one's Minority Report. Absolutely love it. Great sci-fi action movie, and I had to pick that up. The next one is a special edition box set, another DVD box set, and I thought, you know what, I'd be a fool not to get this for £2.99 as it was. And that is the Planet of the Apes series, the original series with Planet of the Apes, Beneath, Escape from, Conquest of, Battle for, and then Behind the Planet of the Apes. I think the Behind the Planet of the Apes is the making of sort of retrospective documentary. I've got the Tim Burton one, not that cracking, is it? But hey ho. And then I've got the other 3 as well. Actually, one of them is one of the Blu-rays I'm going to show you later. Went in the local pound shop in Wakefield and had a good old rumble through their DVDs when we were doing the weekly shop, and saw this one, Hereditary. Heard great things about it. It's supposed to be a really good horror. I loved Midsommar that the chap did after. I think that was his follow-up film. Absolutely loved Midsommar, so I'm really excited to go back and check out Hereditary, and we'll be checking that one out fairly soon because I think Laura's quite interested to see that one as well. She's nodding her head from behind the camera. She's my director and producer as always. So this next one I picked up. I've recently started getting into foreign cinema and Asian cinema in particular, on the back of things like Parasite and like Infernal Affairs and things like that. I've really sort of started to grow a bit of a taste for it. I saw this one again in Poundland, never heard of it before, and thought, do you know what, for £1 it's worth a gamble. And that is One Night in Mongkok. Know nothing about it other than what the synopsis says on the back, but it intrigued me enough to pick it up. This next one is one that I know got a lot of awards buzz, and I think there was a really sort of special way that they filmed this, where they used a child actor and actually filmed it over a series of number of years. Sorry, if I could speak. And used the same child actor growing up, and then the adult actors obviously aged with them as well. And I'm just really interested to see how that comes together on film. It's got glowing reviews. Richard Linklater's Boyhood. So I'm a huge Clint Eastwood fan. And I'm slowly working on building up his entire filmography, be it acting or directing turns. This is one that I didn't have, one of his directorial efforts, Letters from Iwo Jima. I do hope I've pronounced that correctly. One of my favourite Pixar movies next, again from the Pound Shop, Ratatouille. Another horror movie, had reasonable reviews, got it for £1. It's The Town That Dreaded Sundown. This next one is another one that I wanted to get to update the box set one so that I could alphabetise things properly. And yeah, so I'll show the third and final one in the next update. But this one is The Usual Suspects. I'll jump in now to the Blu-rays. I've got a nice healthy stack of Blu-rays as well to show you. Picked up The Spirit for 50p, and I got this from Trade Me In, which is kind of like a CEX type shop that we have in Leeds. Really good. You know, they really do fair pricing on stuff. Generally tend to get most of the new titles traded in within a week of them coming out and release. And there's generally a decent reduction in price for, you know, if you were to go and buy them new as well. A lot of chart things actually pop in there and get great team in there that run that shop. So if you're ever about, check it out. Next film is a film closer to me completing my Stanley Kubrick filmography. I've not seen this one. It's one of the few of his that I've not seen, actually, along with Barry Lyndon, that I picked up over the summer, and I must get round to watching that. So many YouTubers talk about that, and I've heard quite a few people talk about this as well, and that is Eyes Wide Shut. So, I'm a massive Jackie Chan fan. Really, really love his work. We'll watch anything that guy does. And I saw this one again in Trade Me In, and never heard of it, but Jackie Chan's in it. I had a look at the synopsis, looks good. And it's called The Shinjuku Incident. Again, I hope I've pronounced that correctly. This next one I picked up because it was the only one on the franchise that I didn't have on Blu-ray, and it was bugging me a little bit. Me and Laura, at some point, either over Christmas or early in the new year, to break in the new home cinema and movie room, we're going to do a marathon of all the Alien and Predator movies, and obviously the two crossover, versus movies that they did as well. And I didn't have this next one on Blu-ray and wanted to watch them all in high definition when I did it, so I picked it up from HMV in one of their sales, and that is Alien Covenant. So I got the DVD version of that. I think the in-laws are going to have that because they quite like Ridley Scott's take on Alien. I'm more of a Jim Cameron guy myself, but don't get me wrong, I enjoy the other stuff, and obviously without Ridley's work we wouldn't have the franchise at all. Imported this next one from Germany. It's a double pack. It seems to be widely, not out of print, but hard to get a hold of, sort of on the verge of going out of print. And I watched my DVDs earlier in the year in the lockdown of this double bill of films and thought, you know what, they'd be a lot better in HD. So I've been looking out for a good deal on them because I wasn't prepared to pay the silly money that UK sellers were asking for it. So on Amazon Germany, I managed to get the double bill of The Mask and Legend of Zorro, and these things look fantastic. And then all I've done, so that I know what they are on the shelves, is I've just printed off a little spine with the titles in English, so that when I file them away in alphabetical, I can see what it is. I do that quite often. If I buy an import title and it's in a foreign language, I'll just print off a little printed spine, and I can stick it in and know what it is. Completing my Ice Age collection is Ice Age 5 Collision Course. I loved these movies growing up. The first two came out when I was a kid. Went to cinema to see the first one. I was probably about maybe 10 or 11, and right, enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed them as they've come out. I've actually not seen that one yet, and it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I'll watch that eventually, but wasn't prepared to spend, HMV or Amazon sort of money on it. And when it was in the Blu-ray section at Poundland, I thought, yeah, why not? It'll be one of those that'll get put on a rainy Sunday afternoon, and we'll have a laugh at it. I'm not sorry for this next one. I am a huge Nicolas Cage fan, and I absolutely love pretty much anything that the guy's in, even his bad stuff. I find, entertaining, mostly because it's hilarious, because it's Nick Cage going off on one. This is one that I've not seen, but it's called Left Behind. look forward to checking it out. Do you know, some of his direct-to-video films are actually hidden gems. There was one called Dying in the Light that I'd had for sort of on the list of things to get for a while. I was like, I'll pick it up when I see it, sort of thing. And then I saw the trailer for it on the the back of something else on a DVD or a Blu-ray or whatever. I was absolutely blown away by the trailer. So I got the film, and you know what? I enjoyed it for a sort of a run-of-the-mill action movie sort of thing. If you've not seen it and you fancy a bit of a don't have to think action movie, it's one to check out. I mentioned earlier that I'd completed my Planet of the Apes collection with this next one, War of the Planet of the Apes on Blu-ray. If you've seen my sci-fi section, you'll see that I actually did have it on DVD, but I had the other two parts of the new trilogy on Blu-ray, if I could speak. And then I thought with that being so cheap, it was definitely worth an upgrade. So again, I shall probably see if either one of my mates or the in-laws wants the DVD, and if not, it'll get weighed into the CEX when they're open again. The next one is, again, another Poundland one. Picked this up as a curiosity. I've heard that it's actually okay, and it is the 2017 remake of Power Rangers. Back on the theme of Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Spoiler for the next one, I did pick up the first one as well. I thought that was the first one that I'd grabbed, but the first one will be in part 2 of this in a couple of weeks. The next film I picked up purely for the cast. We've got Justin Timberlake in it, Gemma Arterton and Ben Affleck. Gemma Arterton and Ben Affleck are what sold me on this movie. It's called Runner Runner. Don't know anything about it, but I thought, you know what, it's got Affleck in it. I think he was a cracking Batman. Obviously, he's done Gone Girl, Argo, The Town. He's been in some absolutely corking films in the last few years. So I figure I'd give it a whirl. The next film is The Cell 2. Now, I've got the first one on DVD, and I've had that for years ago, but I looked up on the internet, and this one gets reasonable reviews. So I thought, you know what, again, for £2 whilst I'm there, I'll pick it up. I know this one's going to be dire, but when you just want to have a watch or something, and to be fair, if it's a one watch and then it gets traded in or whatever, not the end of the world. For a couple of quid, I thought I'd pick up Rings. Me and Laura both liked the original American remake. I've actually not seen the Japanese film that the stories are based on. I must hunt that down and watch it. But enjoyed the first American remake, so I'll give that one a go and see what it's like. The next two are James Bond movies. Now, I have got all the Bond films on DVD, and then I've got the Bond 50 Blu-ray box set. I like to keep that box set as a bit of a display piece. I'm a James Bond fanatic. As you've probably noticed on this channel, I've ranked all the films, and I've started a review series where I'm going to sort of give my brief thoughts on each film up to the release of No Time to Die next April. And I really want to keep my Bond 50 box set as a display piece, and not have to keep getting it up and down all the time and sort of disturbing my Bond display that I've got that I showed in my videos earlier. And so I've noticed that Poundland and like Asda and things like that have been selling the Bond single Blu-rays on a reasonably cheap price for basically the individual releases. Sorry if I could speak. So I've started picking them up. So I picked up The Spy Who Loved Me in Poundland, and then I've picked up Doctor No as well. So those are the Blu-rays and the DVDs. Just to finish this video off, like I said, I've two 4Ks to show you. I wasn't going to get these at first, but I sort of looked at some reviews on the internet and thought, do you know what, I'll dip my feet in with these two and see how we get on. So the first one that I picked up was Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, or Star Wars. The reason I picked this up is because, unlike Empire and Jedi, which have just had the same 4K prints that were on the 2011 Blu-rays, basically ported over to 4K, Disney have actually done a new restoration, a 4K restoration of this one, so it's the same restoration that's on Disney+. This film has never looked as good as it does right now in 4K. So I picked that one up, and then I picked up this next one because I wanted the audio commentary on it, because I found the making of this film to be really, really interesting. Another Star Wars film, and I wasn't prepared to buy the 3D set because I don't have a 3D setup. I hate wearing 3D glasses over these. It gives me a right headache. And then when I saw that the 4K included that commentary, I thought, well, to complete the 2 for £30 deal that HMV have got going on at the moment, do you know what? Yeah, we'll get it. And so that is Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Both look absolutely fantastic. When I've watched them recently, me and Laura sat and had a double bill of them the other week, and they looked absolutely breathtaking. Of course, I'd expect The Force Awakens to. It was only filmed 4 years ago. 7 years ago. Goodness me, I'm losing track of time. But New Hope absolutely looks fantastic. So there you go. So that is the majority of everything that I've picked up since my last DVD and Blu-ray update back in the summer. So thank you very much for watching, folks. It's been great fun to do one of these videos again for you. I really must keep up to them and do them monthly. No excuse not for doing it, so please accept my apologies. If you've liked the video and you like videos about collecting physical media, reviewing movies, and just enjoying movies as an art form, please consider subscribing to the channel. That's what I'm all about. If you do subscribe, ring that notification bell. That way you're the first to know whenever I do post something. And most importantly, above all else, take care of yourselves, folks. Continue to stay safe, and I will see you again in the next video. Cheers for now.